We're good. We're good. We're live. Ladies and gentlemen, Tesla has bottomed, and I will make my compelling case for as such. The one and dones. Did you follow what we were talking about yesterday? And guess what? We're going to continue what we were talking about yesterday. We're going to go ahead and talk about again our new strategy coming up for some of the earnings this week. I'm Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. Has Tesla really bottomed? I believe it has. I believe it has. I believe Tesla has bottomed here. I know I've been very harsh on the companies, the fundamentals, the situation. Nothing actually changed with that, but I'm going to tell you why I'm at least a short-term bull for now. Did you follow any of the one and dones yesterday? What if trading was really not that difficult? What if you are making it difficult? I know some people like to blame the market for trading being difficult. And I'm like, you're the only one who still makes it difficult. The market is either going to give you a few opportunities or 100 opportunities. You can't predict that. But guess what? If you're happy with a modest move, and I'll define modest for you momentarily, I think you can make a living very easily in this environment. Also, our new strategy, we're going to be talking about some earnings names, a little follow through from yesterday, including the levels. And let's just get right into it. But first, by watching this video, you are already agreeing to hold me, Mark Melnick, and T3 Live harmless and not responsible for anything that might be said, shown, heard, thought you heard me say, dreamed about, you know, clairvoyance thoughts, and everything as such. And by watching this video, you are agreeing to those terms. If you do not agree to them, you must exit immediately. So thank you very much. Okay, let's just take you right into the action here today. I'm going to show you why I feel Tesla has bottomed, and this has been a very interesting situation here with Tesla, because I mean, I don't even, I honestly lost count of the videos of me bashing the company, and I actually I really like the CEO. I really like Elon Musk a lot. I mean, look, not many CEOs are taking companies that are hemorrhaging, hemorrhaging enough to fill the set of 100 horror movies and still be valuated at 50, 60 billion dollars. You don't have companies doing that with the exception of Elon Musk. So I do want to give credit to him for that. But at the same time, while I was bashing this name a lot, I believe that we're at a short-term bottom, and I'm going to just show you. I'm going to spell it out. I'm not going to show you any complex strategies here per se. I'm going to show you something very simple. I just have a bunch of green and red bars here, right? This is a daily chart of Tesla. I want you to look at this bar today. This is the daily bar of Tesla that, here, let me just zoom in a little. Can I view, zoom in? All right. So, that's a little too much. Zoom out. Okay. So you see that green bar right there that made a recent low and rallied. Look at that green bar over here. Look at that green bar over there. Look at that green bar which bottomed out the range over there. Look at that green bar 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 over there. Look at that green little mini one right over there. Look at that green bar right over there. Look at that green bar right over there. Look at that green bar right over. Do I sound like a broken record yet? I'm just pulling up a simple daily chart from August of 2018. And already I have found 11 other scenarios where formations like this presented a phenomenal risk reward to the long side. Granted, on each of these 11 plays, you would have made money buying the pullback. Certain ones I might ignore here, like this little arrow right over here. I probably would ignore that one and only focus on the bigger one. We're talking off deep pullbacks. What happens when you bottom out on a green bar? Now, we were playing Tesla long today, and we made money on Tesla today, but I don't want to get into that trade. It's more important for me that you understand why I think it bottomed here. And, granted, past results aren't future of indicative performances, Mr. Melnick. That's right. But I humbly believe it's going up. I like the $220 calls as mentioned in the Newsbeat room for next week. I like the 220 calls for next week. And remember, as I'm saying this right now, um, Tesla's actually down after hours. It's down 86 cents. It was down more before. That has nothing to do with my feelings that the stock is bottomed out. And it's going to be absolutely. I think we can move to the exponential 8. It's currently at 224.57. The stock starts coming up. This is going to curve. I think we're going to come back and kiss this exponential 8 moving average. Why? Why do you feel that way, Mr. Melnick? Because you've always. Mm, excuse me. I'm a little sick, so if I silence the mic, it's because I have the whole box of Kleenex thing and whatnot. Bottom line is you always came back and hit the exponential 8. I don't see why this time should be different. So my target is the exponential 8 moving average. And, you know, the thing is with that level is it's changing every day. It's changing every day, the exponential 8. It's a living level. People don't realize that the exponential 8 is a living level. They'll only say some people make the argument it only shows you what happened in the past, or it only show you what happened in the past with no future conviction anywhere. We all know that is not true. We all know that algorithms and robots use moving averages, and if they didn't, I would agree with that statement. So with that being said, just simple statistical analysis. We were buying it much lower throughout the day, but even with that all being said, that's it. That's it on Tesla. That is it on Tesla. I mean, look, I want Elon Musk to just be I want him to control the board with his ideas, but I want a guy who is a spokesperson for the company. I want a guy who understands the financial implications of things. I need somebody to say, "No, Elon, that costs too much money." That's what I want to hear. That's who Tesla needs to hire. And Mr. Musk, if you are looking for somebody to help you say that, you found your man right here. Reach out to me. That's MARK, Mark at T3Live.com. So again, bullish in Tesla, and that's it. Now I want to talk about what if trading was I want to talk about what if trading was just really easy. What if trading was just really easy? I was getting at it yesterday with yesterday's conversation. I'll mix yesterday's conversation alongside these one and dones because, again, I mean, I could show you what happens after the fact. I'm telling you what I'm doing the day before. I go in the market today. You could execute upon those ideas, and you could be done with your day. There were hundreds of traders today who did nothing but trade the first 5 minutes in the Newsbeat live room and left and called it a day. Was your day worth it to stick around? Did you know the vast, heavy majority of traders lose money after 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard? We took 20 very profitable traders, some of them seven figures traders. And we were, again, analyzing the times between them, between the months of how they actually performed during what time. And, not to bring up this again, I have to get April through. I haven't done the analysis yet on April. I honestly, being sick and everything, I have to just take all the data and crunch it down. But, I mean, you see what happens after after 11 o'clock a.m. here. I mean, the percentage of your winners go down dramatically. So I said statistically, the best time to have a profitable strategy, this is how these ideas come about. And then I'll show you, and I'll show you how we changed this over here, this one and done strategy. But you must realize, with that being said, I knew the one and done would pretty much every single time, I've never seen it not, happen between 9:30 a.m. and 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard. A 1 minute chart will generally break the top of a 1 minute candle in the first 90 candles. Let's put it that way. So with that being said, I was like, well, traders make money during that time. What is a strategy that's working? What is a statistical way that somebody could come in, scalp the market really quickly, and just leave and just call it a day and just go fishing, I don't know, pick your nose and watch a movie. Who really cares what you're doing at the end of the day? Your time is your time, and you're damn well free to spend it however you would like. So imagine this. Imagine this. Imagine you're a Newsbeat Live member, for example, and you do not want to be sitting there trading all day. So you just want two very simple ideas because you're a bandit. So you see we're watching two names today, Apple Short, which we gave a 2 out of 10 conviction, and Sprint Long, which is a 2 out of 10 conviction. Those were my two highest conviction ideas. And I said, remember, new one and done parameters exclude steps 4 and 5. And steps 4 and 5 just simply say you don't need the first 1 minute candle to call red or green. And the bottom or top of a name can move. And it's not that you have to understand why this tweak came about. It's not that the old strategy stopped working. The old strategy just became a lot less common, while this strategy happens to also be working well. That was the point of the tweak. I still humbly believe that if you have the first minute bar in your favor, you will get statistically better results. But with that being said, let's look what it feels like to be a Newsbeat bandit, and you tell me what it feels like if you are a Newsbeat bandit. Imagine that is your life. Imagine that is your life. Market opens. You're only watching two names. We'll go through both of them. No cherry picking, Apple and Sprint. Your job is because Apple says short right over here, Apple short, you're looking to short Apple on a one and done short strategy. That's the first strategy we look for every single day. It's not like nitpicking strategies that would have worked. That is what we are watching in the first opening minute of trading. So right over here, you have a low of 182.77. Here you have a low of 182.41. So if this bar breaks 182.41, you would short it. It didn't. Now the low of this bar is 182.77. So if it breaks 182.77, you short it. And you are up money immediately. Within the next 5 minutes after you shorted it, inclusive 4 minutes and change depending on what time, maximum 5 minutes. Your stock went from 182.77 to 180.28. That's a $2.49 move. Let's call it $2.50. $2.50 in 5 minutes. Actually, that one would have actually probably been closer to 5.5 minutes. You would have only been up $2.27 in within that 5 minutes. The next candle actually dropped below. Is that enough to make your day? And if you say no, you don't understand what is happening in this environment, or you're trying to manage, hundreds of millions of dollars and you can't waste your time on an Apple scalp, which in actuality you can. But that's a whole nother story, depending if your portfolio is designed for that, which rarely they are. Once you start getting to 100 million, it's about swinging trades. You're not really a scalper anymore whatsoever, like at all. Like you don't scalp on an account that size. What is the point I'm making? Somebody in the room with a $6,700 account. Person started with $250,000 5 years ago, came to our room last week. Last week on the $49 a month special. $6,700. Person is very excited to trade. Has no idea watches the video just like you do. Has no idea what's going to happen. Follows everything we say. Follows only the trades that we do. Focuses in on the one and dones. Becomes a Newsbeat bandit. Already has grown his account massively. It was over $10,000 last he reported a week ago. And this is a trader. I mean, you think about the trader and you're like, what's $10,000 when he started with $250,000? You know what? According to him, life changing. Life changing. That's what it is. For a trader who went from 250 to 6,700, it was life changing. And you know why it was life changing? Not because of his grown confidence, not because he said it was life changing. It was life changing for him because he finally grasped the confidence back in the market to start making money consistently again. That is what I believe. That is what I believe the life-changing factor is. And back to the Apple trade, like you wonder why I'm saying you have to be up money right away. As I told you from yesterday's conversation, you show me a $50 stock and you tell me you have a $49 stop and a $53 take profit, and it looks very organized, very simple, very neat, very easy to understand. But after you buy at 50, I'm telling you that stock can go against you. And I'm not saying stocks will never go against you, but the majority of your trades should be going with you immediately if you are doing them correctly. Because unless you're a psychological war machine, which I've met those traders before, and they're loaded with toxicity and they fight through it really well. Unless that's the person you want to be more stress. You want to talk about all the negative things that come with negative trading? I've heard it all. I've heard it all the way from the end of being sad all the time in bed, not motivated, this, arguing worse, getting sick more often. I mean, literally, it comes down to a health risk. Stress is scientifically proven to have negative effects on your body. So if you are not protecting yourself from the market, if you're not walking into the market with a shield up on both ends, like a shield in one hand, shield in the other, and you have two shields, and you're almost like coming in with like the shielded battering ram, like how they do the battering rams and they hold their shields above them and they run through the door. If you're not running through the market like that, you're going to get hit by an arrow. And sometimes by holding those shields, ladies and gentlemen, it might be heavier and harder to move. Maybe you don't get as far as the dude who wasn't holding shields, but you also don't get an arrow stuck in your behind every other day. And that is the goal with trading. See, what they don't tell you, again, what I have seen, and I've seen these prop reports, anytime somebody shows you a sweet number, it means nothing because they don't talk about the journey. They don't talk about the journey to get that number. They show you beginning, they show you end. No, actually, they don't show you beginning. A lot of them don't share with you what they did and how their P&L. They don't. They just show you the end result. So you come and you see this bag of money at the end of a rainbow, and you come and you're like, wow, how did that bag of money appear? Oh, hi, little leprechaun. How are you doing? I will tell you how I got it here. And then you're drawn in. You try a product. You want it. It's a very noble intention to want to make money, but they don't tell you the journey. So when you see these strategies where how many of you feel like when you enter a trade, you're down money immediately? I don't. A lot of people do. That is one of the most common things in trading, believe it or not. It's not personal. Most traders, when they open up a position, it's like, Mark, I'm down money like relatively immediately. I open it up, I'm in a trade. I then look at my P&L and it's red. That is one of the most detrimental factors. It gets you used to wanting to see failure on your screen. Even if you don't want it, you're getting used, you're conditioning yourself to accept failure. And while failure in terms of losing trades is a thing in the market, failure is not an option in the market. Failure is not an option to those serious traders who are making money. You can't fail. It's a matter of what you're going to do next to succeed. Hence, change a strategy, remove parameters, show you what's working now. Like this that we showed you yesterday and dozens of times in the past. And it coincidentally works on the name we watch. It's not a coincidence. The whole point of that is when you opened up that Apple trade, you were up money relatively immediately. That is the only important part of a trade. Because if you focus on that, you are going to make money in the long run. When you buy a stock and you see it ripping up, you don't always know how high it will go. You have a target in mind. But what if the market turns around? What if a tweet comes out, a trade war thing comes out, the beef with Iran comes out, the European Union issues come out, the problems in South Africa right now? What if you get problems from Venezuela? How about North Korea? How about Iran increasing their all this blah 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 blah? Issues, true issues in the world. Are you taking that into account when you say target 53, stop 49 on a $50 name? Are you taking into account that if the stock got down to 49.20 and then went up to 53, do you realize how that stock looked like? You bought a stock. I'll give you an example, and you correct me. I can make up a scenario. Tell me if it feels familiar. You buy the XYZ, the made up stock at 50. It goes to 49.75, then is hovering in the 49.90s where you're down a little, but you don't want it to get back down. Now you're thinking of using a stop in the 49.70s all of a sudden because it bounced from there and it's going down towards the 49.70s and you're not sure if you should hold it or not. Then it goes from 49.70s to 49.50s and you're like, oh, and then it goes back up to $50.30 and you're thinking there, should I take the profit? I was already down 40 cents or 50 cents. Maybe I should take 30 cents and just call it a trade. And you're having all these thoughts with you every step of the way, and that is what is happening in your mind. You want to know what goes through the mind of a Newsbeat trader, why these strategies don't cause psychological toxicity. Because when you go ahead and you short through a candle like this, you have money immediately. You see your green P&L being up a little green, little green, more green, more green, more green, little. See the difference? I'm not even insinuating you caught 250 in Apple. I don't think I care about catching 250. Maybe you caught 50 cents. 40 cents, 60 cents, 30 cents, a dollar, dollar and a half, some of you, $2, two and a half, some of you, but who cares? You're put in a situation, you caught 56 cents, Colton, on it. Thank you. Like I said, doesn't matter. And the bottom line will come down to with these names that if you want to cure your toxic thoughts, if you want to cure the failing mentality, if you are one of those traders who you think if anybody shorts what you buy, they'll make a lot of money because you always lose money, if that's your attitude walking into this game and you're not willing to change it, I will tell you to really, in my opinion, hang up your coat. The drive to be successful is by far paramount, the number one factor in the market, regardless of where you are, regardless if your $250,000 account went to 6,700 and you gained that confidence and it got back to 10,000. Using that as a rough example, of course. There are better and worse stories than that, much worse stories that I've heard in my life than that. But the whole point is to get on the right track. And what I am telling you, one of the most deceitful things, I will use the word deceitful, and it's not done intentionally to deceive you. It's done in a slick way to appeal to the part of your brain that responds well to narcotic drugs, the pleasure center of your brain. And all you see is the money, and you go after it, and they don't talk about the implications behind being part of these trades. They don't talk about the trades they get stopped out on. They don't talk about how hard it is sometimes to hold your stock to a target. One of the hardest things to do, and it should be. It's not an easy thing to just sit there and hold a name. Some people do it better than others, but doesn't mean you always want to do it, even if you do it sometimes. You have to be up money immediately on your trade. So when I'm talking Tesla today as Tesla bottom, we were calling it long or as a buy intraday. So you make enough money with Tesla buying it intraday, and guess what? You sell out, you take the profit, and you can invest that money in an option call for next week. And if that option call goes to zero, you don't care because you still made money. You only risk if you play Tesla and let's say you made like $2,000 or $200 or 1,000 or 500 or 5,000, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let's say you made 500 bucks on Tesla, right? Just for numbers sake, you could take 200, 300, 100, 400, 500 of those dollars and bet on Tesla if you really feel this one is a viable name to bet on. And you'll suffer zero psychological toxicity, even if your option goes to zero, because you only played with the house's money at that point. And when you're a Newsbeat trader, the house's money is the number one real objective here. Playing on the house's money is the objective. Here's Sprint, by the way. I didn't show you this one. Here's the one and done in Sprint. This was I just I don't want to cherry pick this, but like right over here, you could just see Sprint long 2 out of 10. Highest volume name today on the board. Had 165 million shares with the T-Mobile shenanigans. So here's the one and done in Sprint. Now I know what a lot of you are thinking. I don't like trading Sprint. It doesn't move enough for me. Trade Apple. But there's some traders who did really well in this today. Right over here, using our one and done long methodology, you buy right here through 778, you immediately get to 785. You're immediately up 1% on your position on the first minute. I know 7 cents doesn't sound like a lot, and then it eventually went to 789. So it went from 778 to 789. It's like a 1.5% move. And those options did move well on that pop. And you could have taken common stock with a very tight risk, as much as you wanted. I mean, there were this 1 minute bar that you could have bought through 778 had 2.4 million shares on that 1 minute bar. There was enough Sprint for everybody. So I definitely wanted to show you the power of that. What if those were your only 2 trades today? And I know I bring this up with you because I want to make you think. What if, honestly, what if those were your only 2 trades today? And you didn't stress. The day was over by 9:38, let's say. Let's say 8 minutes. You didn't sit there watching the market act dull all day. You didn't sit there trying to catch this setup, made on this, lost on that, lost on that. You chopped around. You paid your broker. You paid your prop firm. You paid all these people. Everybody is happy but you. How ironic. How ironic that is. Would have you been happy if those were just your only 2 trades today? You came in the morning, like this was my main focus of the day. I prefer Apple over Sprint myself. And what if this was the one name you traded today? Guess what? Tomorrow, we're likely going to have more names for you that are 2 out of 10 or higher on my conviction scale. Just got an email right now. Hold on. Okay. So, I just really wanted to share with you the mentality behind making money in the market and how you might be making it too complex. Excuse me, I am still sick. Well, I'm glad I muted myself so you don't hear me blow my nose, but you get the picture. So, we have a new strategy tomorrow for those who are still having issues over trading. For those who don't want to trade on a 1 minute chart, the truth is you need a fast software to trade on that 1 minute chart. You need to be able to buy or sell stock or options immediately, and not all platforms out there are designed for that. So, with that being said, we do share our layout. I know I have a recent lot of requests. You guys will be getting your layouts shortly. And let's just talk about the new strategy. I think that's a very important thing. So we were going over some of the earnings that are reporting tomorrow morning, and we are going to go over some of the names reporting after hours. So obviously the big name on that list to start is going to be, Home Depot and Target. Those are 2 names reporting tomorrow morning. You have Home Depot, you have Kohl's, J.C. Penney, AutoZone, TJ Companies, TJX. Um, those to me are the big names that are reporting. And then after hours, you have Urban Outfitters, JW Nordstrom, Toll Brothers. So what I've been doing with these setups is I've been giving you the bullish and bearish case scenario with big triggers. So if these names gap up, the first time they hit that level, whether it's after hours, pre-market, during the day, you are going to get a volume spike in the name almost every single time based on my due diligence. For these names, every single time, you will get elevated volume. Now, that's not to insinuate any direction. Depends on the setup, depends on the market, right? But you're guaranteed elevated volume at those levels. And here's the bearish case scenario for the four names. You could screenshot this as well if you'd like. These are going to be the breakdown levels of the stock. And again, whether it first sits in the pre-market or post-market, you're going to get huge volume if these levels hit at any point after they report. All right. So let's get to tomorrow's levels. Does that say May 20th? No, that's the wrong one. This is the right one. Here are tomorrow's levels, May 21st. These are our algorithmic levels. They don't always hit. In fact, they usually don't. But when they do, I personally tend to have a consistent time making money by buying through support or shorting through resistance using common stock or options. Either one works for me. Make sure you screenshot it. These levels are only available and useful for tomorrow, Tuesday, May 21st. So the new strategy again was to basically we were talking about reversals. Definitely watch the evolutionary gathering. I go into quite an amount of detail regarding it. I think it's a very important episode. You could find it in your Facebook playlist on top, and definitely look for it and give it a look because it definitely can help traders prevent from over trading these environments. Believe me, your Charles Schwab's and Interactive Brokers, they don't like me telling you this. They don't like me telling you to slow down because that's how they make their money. So I'm telling you, trade smart. Don't trade that much. You like this one and done that we showed you today? We look to do it every single day. We look to do these trades every single day. And thank you, because it's users like you that make the Newsbeat Live Room T3's largest, fastest growing trading room. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning on the Newsbeat Live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.